Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Yes, Chris Pirillo will broadcast live on YouTube today. When? Well, I suppose right now seems as good a time as any, and that I know of. People out there are tuning in live when I broadcast on YouTube live every day. It's a television show, possibly without a real television sitting in front of you. Although I hear that some people are watching me live on YouTube on their real television. Then again, what is a real television anymore? TLDR, as I seem to mention every day, is short for the Locker Gnome Daily Report. It's also short for Too Long Didn't Read. That being said, before I dive into each particular segment, you are more than welcome and encouraged to look at the corresponding link on lockergnome.com. When you're there, you should like it on Facebook. You should tweet it, out to all your Twitter followers, and plus one it for all of you who, use Google. And I think that's pretty much everybody these days. So use all three of those buttons on every article on Locker Gnome as we run down the list during this live broadcast or the recorded broadcast or any one of the separate segments. All right. Looks like we've got people saying hello. Steve K. 1993 says, Chris, you are early. Only by 30 seconds again. Wouldn't you rather have me early than late? It's up to you. I'll go late. If you really want me to. Pedro Dorito 1999 says, hi, Chris. TCPNet says, hi, Chris, and TCPNet, I recognize that handle. Yesterday, he said he signed up for a Twitter account because of me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hi, Chris from the UK says, Carrie Stir. How do I like the video? I can't find the like button. Intronets, I've explained this every day during the live broadcast. To like the live video, you have to look at the video's individual page. You can't like a live video after it's gone live. Inevitably, someone's going to ask me this question by email at some point later today. Why can't I like the video? It says you can't like it if it hasn't aired. Because YouTube has a bug right now. So you have to look at the individual page. Where can you find that? Well, let me go ahead and share the permalink for this video on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and tweet that out. I'm going to share it on Facebook as well. And I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what I'm expecting everybody else out there to do. On the video page itself, I'm going to share it. +1. Putting it on my Google Plus profile, saying something funny. And if you want to see what I said that was somewhat funny, you'd have to look on Twitter, Facebook, or Google Plus right now. But to like this video on the live broadcast page, you have to go to the page itself. It looks like 38 of you can follow directions. So I have 38 people in the audience. Awesome. Very nice. Hi from Canada, says Apple Macintosh Lion. Hi, Chris, the sports guy Brunt 2. Hi, it's live, Mr. King Naz, and hi from Norway, Magical Hans Mo Hansen. It's quite a long name you got there. Chris, do you think World War III has started? Says Tech by Tiggs. Oh no, what happened now? Did something happen? And I haven't been reading the news. I had to go to the doctor today. Everything seems to be fine, but I got something for my knuckle, or seemingly I think I had a problem with my knuckle. And it wasn't the knuckle. It may have actually been some kind of ligament that I tore in my middle finger. That's not me flipping you off. That's going to be making interesting animated GIF for Google Plus there. 56 of you can follow direction. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and dive right into the array of content that I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for joining me. Let me go ahead and turn over here, because when I turn to the side, if you didn't already realize it, that's when I press the start recording button, then turn back and actually record the video. So I had to explain that a few times as well. And if you ask a question, by the way, during the live session, and I don't answer it, chances are I've either already answered the question or I've already answered the question. I suppose it's because I don't think it's an interesting question to answer, too. But it's probably because I've already answered the question. Let's go ahead and do this. Yesterday, I posted on my blog, chris.pirillo.com, the opportunity for you to receive a MacBook Air and or the iPad 2 in conjunction with Parallels, and the reaction, I was quite shocked to see what had happened. 2,000 tweets in about a day's time, which is, for us, amazing. I wish you guys would tweet every single article we did. I really do. I mean, I know that, doing some kind of random giveaway only encourages the chance of you tweeting something or liking something or plus wanting something. Any video we do, any article on lockergnome.com, please, if you can do something similar, that would be awesome. I would love to see 2,000 on every single thing that we did. Do you love us that much? I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like the content we provide. The only way we know is if you share it with others, really, because we can't reach out and touch you as a viewer. Not that you would want to be touched. But I got some other special for you. Just like I tweeted separately yesterday, I found an opportunity with KGB Deals where you can get 4 movie tickets through Fandango for the price of 2, which is pretty amazing. The offer's good for the next few days. And when I shared this link on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus yesterday, apparently a lot of people clicked. And so KGB reached out to me, and not the KGB Deals reached out and said, hey, Chris, would you like to give away a set to your community? I said, sure, why not? And I said, maybe you could give us some extra tickets too, so that Diana and I can enjoy some more movies over the coming month. And they said, okay, why not? So I said, well, how do you want to do it? I said, well, maybe do something over Twitter again. Okay, so what I did was I typed this out to give you some clear directions. Let me tilt that to the side, bring it a little closer, you can see it. Tweet something like this, all right? I want 4 movie tickets from @KGBDeals_USA and @LockerGnome, and then include 2 links, the go.tagjag.com/movietix and a link to the Locker Gnome article. Any Locker Gnome article, any one of them that you happen to like, either published today or earlier. So include 2 links. Obviously, this is not an active link, but be sure to include the http:// there, just like that. And you can always hit pause and go back to this to make sure you did it. And out of the array of people who do this tweet, that's all you really got to do. So even if you don't have a Twitter account, is it worth possibly getting 4 movie tickets without having to pay anything? Worth it? One of you is going to get it. Come on. It's a chance. Random chance that someone out there is going to be happier because they are a part of the community and they paid attention to the directions. So if you missed what I had shared there, just make sure you tweet something with those 2 links, go.tagjag.com/movietix, and a link to the Locker Gnome article, whatever Locker Gnome article, not just a Locker Gnome article, and include @LockerGnome and @KGBDeals_USA, just like on that little sheet of paper that I printed out. I still use the printer to help people type things out. I don't really know that work, but I can't really encourage you and tell you to do one tweet or another because that's against Twitter's terms of service. You have to craft your own tweet. Just include those 4 elements, and I think we'll be good to go. In terms of doing it in the UK, you would have to ask KGB Deals. They're the ones responsible for the giveaway. My hope is at some point, we will be able to do more giveaways with these guys because they reached out to me, and I always like that, and especially if I can give a value back to the community. It's really about having fun and doing things that we'd normally do, like go to the movies. And I've said it before, the only time I go to the movies is if I go on a discount, and I would say 50% off is a pretty darn good discount. So let me know what you think about this particular giveaway or others. And I would say one of you should be very, very happy, and the rest of you should look forward to the next giveaway that we do. Drinking out of my snowman mug. Hey, Chris, check the knife. Check the knife? I'm not exactly sure what that means. All right. I did that one. Are you going to Apple's Tech Talk? No. That was a question that was asked of me, by the way. I wasn't just, saying that out loud for my health. Did you hear that? That was a fart in the middle of a live TV show. Yes, that's right. This is a TV show, and we broadcast it live on YouTube, the Locker Room Daily Report, TLDR for short, every weekday, right around 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. That's here in the Pacific Northwest in the Seattle area. And you can check the schedule, of course, on youtube.com/live or our YouTube channel at youtube.com/LockerGnome. You can even click to view the video before it's aired to get a countdown of the video. And I've received photos from people who have watched TLDR, this live broadcast, on their real TV. It was, I think someone said that they can watch it on the Xbox, kind of neat. Other people have reported that they can watch YouTube live videos from their Android devices. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're thinking. Maybe you're not thinking this. Maybe you're not thinking at all. You're wondering possibly, well, how could I watch the Locker Room Daily Report live on YouTube from an iOS device? Well, I'm glad you asked, or even if you didn't, I'm going to tell you anyway. It looks like Siddhant Ultra, who emailed me about an hour before this live broadcast to tell me that there's a service called YT Live. It's one word, YT Live. Google it, and the first result that should pop up is a website that will allow you to watch the live broadcast from an iOS device, iPod Touch, iPhone, or an iPad. Well, this isn't the iPad. Obviously, this is not the iPad, but Google for it on an iOS device. It'll pull it up, and then you should see the iconic live thumbnail you've seen on most of the videos that we have scheduled live, and just click that, and when we are live, you'll be able to watch it from an iOS device. So there you go. You can watch it on iOS, Android, Xbox. Are there any other ways? I got to know how you can watch TLDR live. But if you didn't know, there are other, I guess, entities who are broadcasting live on YouTube these days, not just us. A lot of live content. And I got to tell you, this is the future, and you're experiencing it with me now. We have a chance to interact when I turn to the chat box and see how many people are actually liking this video as I'm broadcasting it. I mean, that television wishes. Well, actually, it is television, but I mean, traditional television stations wish they could have this level of interactivity. I can watch it on YouTube, says Ricky Vlog. Yes, because that's where we're broadcasting live today. Of course, we also have the live video feed at live.pirillo.com. That's using Ustream, still active. But YouTube Live is just, I don't know, it's different. It's kind of YouTubier. So where else are you watching the Locker Room Daily Report live, or are you watching it after we record it and post it, after it's been live? Hopefully you are. If not, I wonder why you're watching this video, or at least watched all the way to the end. As I'm broadcasting live here on YouTube, I'm scanning for comments and questions from the chat box because I can see your comments live as they pop in. And Nilesh Prahajamanilik, don't feel bad. I certainly don't, because I slaughter everybody's handle. Hey Chris, I'm going to purchase an iPad in the next few weeks, and I don't know which model to go with, a Wi-Fi or 3G model. My question is advantage or disadvantage of purchasing 3G iPad model over Wi-Fi. Well, I tell you this, I have an iPad 2 3G. I had an iPad first generation 3G, and I haven't used the 3G feature yet. I get online either by connecting to my local Wi-Fi network here, or, if I'm out and about, I may tether to my iPhone, and when I do that, I can get just as many features to my iPad 3G as I would if I had just a regular old Wi-Fi iPad. So the next generation iPad that I am likely to buy, no matter what they do with it, unless it's like a massively radical departure from what has been done with the iPad, is likely going to be just an iPad Wi-Fi. I don't know, the iPad 3G, not as interesting anymore to me. So I'm looking at getting just an iPad Wi-Fi only the next time out, and that's based on my experience over the past couple years with the 3G model. So my recommendation to you is tethered to another device or a network, and stick with Wi-Fi unless you don't have another mobile device or Wi-Fi isn't prevalent wherever you happen to be. Save some money. You always pronounce my handle correctly, says Inbalance by Design. That's because it's clear. 118 people can follow directions. Sorry for liking the page. By the way, so now here we go. First Locker Gnome article we're going to share of the day now that I've gone over some, if you want to see that, you can. It's just it was an email from someone saying where you can watch YouTube Live. I did a separate video on how you can watch YouTube Live from iOS. Yeah, there's a way. So even when you're in the other room and you're like, I don't want to get up, I can watch Chris from the office. Yes, YouTube Live. All right. Chris, have you heard of Fusion IO? Probably. iPad 3 is coming out soon. Well, by soon you mean the next year. Does Chris like ponies? Nope. Let's see here. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody who likes ponies. Diana likes ponies, but you're not a brony. He's wondering if I'm a brony. No, dude. I'm an AFOL, an adult fan of Lego. Okay. So here we go. So read along. Are you guys ready? As we share these Locker Gnome articles, hopefully you click the link and you read along with me. And when you're there, you like and share the link. As I share the crux of the articles that we're posting to lockergnome.com in these videos here on YouTube, hopefully you click the link in the description to read along and share the video and the article in conjunction with one another. And, just if you didn't realize you could do that, I'm just encouraging you to do this. Ebooks is the topic at hand for the corresponding article. Are ebooks really a ripoff? I've produced ebooks. I've sold ebooks. And I tell you what, if you email me, chris@pirillo.com, I will send you a link to where you could get my Twitter tips ebook for free. I'll send you that for free. This is something that I wrote up, I think it was a couple years ago, to help people with Twitter, as they were getting started with things. And it's still got, some relevantly useful information, even if I happen to be making up words like relevantly. At least I'm pretty sure that's not a word. But are ebooks really a ripoff, if you have to pay for things? And I think it's, okay to pay for content that you want. I mean, especially if the publisher puts a value on it, whether it's $1, $10, $100, whatever it happens to be. If you're willing to pay for it, that means the information should be, worth the cost of admission. And it's been the case where you'll buy an ebook and then you try to read it on your ebook reader, only it doesn't work. Is that frustrating? That is probably the number one thing that I think turns people away from ebooks, the confusion. This is one thing that Amazon has done very well. You get an ebook, you can read it in the Kindle software. Whether you're using the web reader, you're using a Kindle reader hardware, you're using the software on another device like an iPad or an iPhone or an iPod Touch, on Android, it doesn't matter. In many ways, I think ebooks need to come through Amazon as a clearinghouse because the software is going to be compatible versus buying an ebook, having it slapped with DRM that only allow you to read the ebook on one computer or another. I mean, you want to talk about outmoded. That's frustrating. It's not a question of, paying for something. It's, are you going to get what you pay for? If I pay $5, let's say, for an ebook, I expect that I'm going to be able to read that ebook wherever I go. I don't want to have any restrictions levied against me, and I don't want to really get frustrated with the process of reading. All I want to do is read what's in that ebook. But so many people are buying and selling ebooks that are locked down with proprietary DRM mechanisms that are draconian. I mean, this stuff is so bad for the ebook publishing industry. And it's not to say that the DRM that Amazon places on top of certain ebooks is any better. It's just knowing that if you buy a Kindle, you can read any content available for the Kindle on any device that supports the Kindle store. You can forward a PDF to your Kindle email address, which you get for free when you get a Kindle, or you're using some kind of software that allows you to read Kindle content. Whether it's costing you money or you get it for free, it's knowing that you're not going to feel like you were swindled, that you were cheated. So before you buy an ebook, find out whether or not it has some layer of DRM associated. And if it does, my recommendation, don't buy it. My ebooks have never had DRM associated. They're just straight up PDFs. I know they've been swapped online and I don't think resold, but certainly shared. And I'd rather have people stealing my content, not that I would condone it, than not wanting it at all. That's my perspective on it. And I don't know, what your experience has been with ebooks, or if you think that ebooks are a ripoff. Not because they cost money. That's not what's in question here. It's more like, do you get everything that you paid for? And I think DRM really does the reader a disservice and the publisher a massive, massive disservice. So, let me know your thoughts. You have ours. Someone said they're watching it on the Google TV. Awesome. I'm hovering over the video just to see the live logo. Says Alex Moore Films. 5 ways to sell your old electronics. I still have my PSP. I can't even remember which version of the PSP it is. It's one of the newer generations. The last one that accepted UMDs. And I have... How many UMDs is that? Guys, is that 40 UMDs? I've got an insane amount of UMDs on the shelf. And I haven't sold it. I've been wanting to sell it. The problem is that I can't get a decent price because they're worth apparently nothing. Or next to nothing. I'll buy your PSP for $5. No. I'd rather have it collect dust here. In the off chance that I might use it as a prop one day. If an offer comes in, a decent offer, I may jump. I may say, yeah, a few $100s. I'll give you all this stuff because it's worthless to me now. And I don't know what else to do other than to hang on to it because I don't want to sell it for pennies. And there are times in our lives that, we have products that we no longer need. Not that they stop working, it's just that we upgrade and we can potentially turn over the value of our old electronics. And so we have created an article for you, really a laundry list of sorts, 5 ways to sell your old electronics. And you're free to read along. Go ahead, click the link in the description. Take a look. If you like it, share it. It looks like 27 people have already tweeted the article, just from the time that I looked. 5 people plus one did. 3 people liked it on Facebook. Thank you. And we're talking about the article, 5 ways to sell your old electronics here. And we've talked before about, how to sell a used PC, different options. But there are many ways that you can get rid of old devices. This is how I pay for new devices, by the way, if you wanted to know. If I see something that I want, I look around and say, what can I possibly get rid of? What has value? Of course, the number one possibility is going to be eBay, and we list that off as an option. It's something that you might want to get started with if you haven't already. Don't just throw the items on a shelf if you think you can get something back from them. I mean, like I said, that PSP is still sitting there because I know it's not going to be worth my time to sell it for $5. No way. No way. I spent way too much money on those UMDs and that PSP to just let it go to scrap. Unfortunately, I can't even convert it on a lot of popular electronics buying websites. So what I've thought about doing is going one step further and possibly putting it on Craigslist, the lot in the bundle all together, and see what I can get for that. Posting a minimum price or best offer to see what the market might want, if anybody's still in the market of buying PSPs with UMDs. Another option you may not have realized, Amazon. Did you know you could sell things on Amazon? You don't just buy things on Amazon? This is funny. As I'm going down this list, Sim Harrison said he'll give me $5 and 1 penny. No, not going to happen. Make a combo with other things. That's a really good suggestion, Joshush812. I have 2 broken PSPs, not sure why they're not worth anything, haha, says Tim Sim 2. Ooh, Nico and Teta says, okay, I'll give you $230. You know that? That's not a bad offer. I might just consider that. So, here's something we didn't even recommend in the article as a place to sell your old electronics. YouTube. Think about that. I may have just sold something that I wanted to sell, and it was just as easy to talk about it as it was to, hey, honey, I'm gonna try to do some live production changes here as I'm going through. Honey, I'm not talking to an invisible girlfriend. She's real. I'm going to show you here as I get up and move around the office. I'm behind the camera now. I was going to see if she could have done this, but that's okay. I'm going to come over here to show you exactly what I couldn't seem to get rid of. There we go. There's these games here, and hopefully they won't fall over. There's that pile. And, oh, no, I got another pile here. Don't you go anywhere. Okay, there's this pile. Hopefully the mic is still picking up audio. Let me find the PSP right here. I should have held on. I had a Darth Vader special edition PSP I wish I would have held on to. Here's the PSP right there. And the stack of God knows how many UMD. Hey, Chris, do you play games? Look at that stack right there. So I need to get rid of this. And I've listed some options for me. Look at the blog post if you want ideas on where you can sell your old electronics. But maybe it could be just as much fun to sell it to one of y'all. I don't know. What's the best price you think I can get for this stack of games and the PSP? Someone said, collector's item. Chris Pirillo's PSP says that was Soul Spline. Haha, why so much? Says Tech Lolly. I was overcompensating for something. Obviously. So, if you have any other ideas on where I could sell my electronics, and these options weren't listed on the article, feel free to share your thoughts. And hopefully you have some good suggestions for us. What's the condition? See, now, I'm training you here. Right now I'm saying this is what you might do in a YouTube video. The condition is perfect, near perfect, and I take care of everything. These things don't even really have dust on them. And certainly I keep my PSP just as protected with a case. Someone said, will you sign it? Yeah, but then it'll be worth far less money than it's barely worth now. Take a look at the article. Did we miss anything? Let us know. Share it if you like it. That was funny. I didn't need to move this at the end, but I decided, holy jeez. I didn't realize I had so many. These UMDAs are useless. I'll pay $250 for it all. I'll give you $350. Wow, $350 offer. Look at that. $350. I might actually jump at that. $350 is a pretty good. If $350 is the best deal I can get, that might be it for me. Oh, so many games. So many games. GameStop would give you a peanut for all that. Exactly. That's why I'm not taking it to one of those game buying stores. How many games? I don't know. I'll count it up. I'll count it up later. Put a Locker Dome logo on it. That's a possibility. Chris, if your house was burning... Ooh, this is a good one. As we were playing around here during the live Locker Dome Daily Report broadcast, TLDR for short, saw this question here come in from I Don't Noah. Chris, if your house was burning down and you only had time to save one gadget, what would it be and why? I would say if it was a gadget, if you're keeping me to just gadgets, I would probably say my phone because I have everything on my phone. And the nice thing about having this is that I can get to everything that I might need to get to. I would not save the screens. I can replace those. I wouldn't save the computers. I wouldn't save anything else. I could even replace the phone. It's not that big of a deal. And I think that's probably what I think makes me happy about gadgets these days is I can replace them with a great degree of ease because much of my data is backed up, saved to the cloud. I can get to it from anywhere, because I've gone through the process of backing up most of the data. It would be difficult to catch up with all that data again, but if I had a communications device, that was the last thing I would need. It's not just about the iPhone. It could be any smartphone, really. That would probably be the first thing that I would think about grabbing. It's my lifeline to everything. It's my internet connection in some cases, and I can get to all my data from here. Maybe not easily, but still, it's possible. That's the gadget that I would grab if my house was on fire. If it was anything that I would grab, it would I would make sure, first of all, assuming you're not talking about living creatures, I would make sure everybody was safe. My dogs, certainly, and assumedly any human being would exit the house as well. But if I had to save, any collectibles, it would probably be my Lego minifigs. Everything else I could replace with a pretty good degree of ease. How and why to back up your data? What about iPad 2? That's a possibility, I guess. That too. Well, you said one gadget. And you can call 911. Exactly. Experts tell us that we need to back up our data. So let this serve as a reminder to you. Back up your data. Just do it. Stop after you're watching this series of videos and figure out a way to get your data from point A to point B. And I don't just mean plugging in an external hard drive and copying the data to it. That's step one, but then you got to get that hard drive out of here. You want it off-site. Put it in a safe deposit box or someone else's house. You got to get it away from that location. It's a great reason that you might want to black up to the cloud. Well, I suppose you could. If it's dark, there could be a blackout, and that may have damaged your hard drive to the point where you would wish you would have backed up. So we've got an article really explaining how, and most of They hung up. So how and why should you back up your data? We've outlined it for you in the corresponding blog post on LockerGnome.com. Where? LockerGnome.com. We put a link conveniently for you in the video's description if you're watching the video on, say, YouTube or embedded on Facebook, Google+, or beyond. You'd think that this is just common knowledge. Well, yeah, you need to back up. Do you realize it's so simple to do these days? If you don't do it, it's more difficult to not do it than it is to do it. That's what I'm trying to say, honestly. You can do it. You can. The software and services are available. You could even combine a series of the free online storage options together, because you can't just get one and expect it's going to cover the full gamut for backing up everything, because usually the free services give you like 2 gigabytes here, 10 gigabytes here, and it'll be piecemeal. You probably want to go with one online storage option or another, but not going with one is really more. Did you hear my phone? It burped. My phone just burped right there. You heard it here. I think it's a bug, a ghost in the machine. No, actually, it's a burp tone. That's my burp. Did that a couple years ago. The song, that ringtone, by the way, from the Jeff Smith. That is a custom ringtone. I don't think anybody on the planet would want that ringtone. But I could get to it at any time because I backed it up. It's backed up online. So we've got the article for you. And let's just say, for argument's sake, Chris, I already know how and why I should back up. Do you have someone you work with or in your family who just can't get it through their thick skull? Backing up is good. Send them the link to the article. Tell you what, if you share that article link and let me know you shared it, like, hey, I shared it on Facebook here, and then you show me where it was, or I tweeted it, or I linked to it on my blog, I will send you a link in return to that very not staged phone call, the ringtone that was played. You will get a copy if you share that link that I've shared with you now, or really, I guess, any link to a Locker Gnome article. So tell people, even if you already understand, back up before it's too late. At some point in the future, I hope to have kids, and I have a feeling that those kids will be very well plugged in. They will not want for Lego or gadgetry of any kind. My hope would be that they would embrace some kind of inner nerd or geek. My phone just burped again. At some point in their life, and I would try to encourage it. The idea, though, that some parents don't understand that the internet is really kind of an open door for anybody to walk through is a bit scary. And I know I have a lot of kids in my audience and in the greater Locker Gnome community, but I also have parents, adults, people who should know better. I'm broadcasting this and I'm talking to a camera. It's just me, some 38-year-old guy talking to whoever's listening, and it could be anybody. We've crafted an article that you should really pay attention to because it's a very important topic. And the question in the headline is very pointed. Would you invite a predator into your home to have dinner with your children? And if you are a minor, if you live at home, if you are still under your guardian's or your parents' rule, this is something that would concern you as well, although not to the same degree. You may think you know everything, but let me just tell you this. As an adult, I don't know everything. But I certainly would never think about doing something like that. And this is exactly what happens today. The internet is not a toy. It's not radio. It's not television. This is a communications gateway. Wake up to it. You got to understand, there are some real creepers out there. Some bad people. And worse yet, if half the adults saw what their kids were doing online, I mean, I see a lot of children, plain and simple, children typing things that they would never want to share with their parents. They're rude, crude, vile, have no respect for anybody, including themselves. Without any kind of supervision, I think it's just a recipe for disaster. Especially with someone who does not have the emotional capacity to carry it. We've talked about cyberbullying at length. Predators are out there. Be aware. If you are not watching what's going on in your family's, connection to the internet, you're really not doing your family any favors. It's dangerous stuff, man. It is. And I'm sorry, I'm someone who believes in protecting children, especially from people who certainly should know better or who have, they're not quite all there. Trust me, they're out there. You may know of someone like that. And the scary thing is, you may not know you already know someone like that. I mean, I may be silly at times, but, there's certainly an absolute line that I draw. Yeah, just pay attention to the stuff that's happening out there. And if anything, if you know of an adult whose devil may care with what their kids do with the internet, or if you think as a kid, if you are one, that it's not going to happen to you, think again. Answer the question, would you invite a predator into your home to have dinner with your children? And this is exactly what parents are doing today. Wake up. Take a look at the article. It was very well written, a very good perspective, and if anything, share it with someone who needs to know. Please. Blowtorches says, know exactly what you mean, Chris. I started my son, now 10, at a very young age. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of him on my lap with a copy of Tech TV, how-to book with you and Leo on the cover. As for safety, one of the most important aspects of his online experience, I'm a safety nut. I think he is going to be well. Indeed. Cheese pizza, lol, huh? Oh, he's talking about dinner. I'm like, what? Cheese pizza? You're freaking crazy. Kids think they are unable to get caught and really have no idea what typing to a computer goes to real people that can find them. That's true, says Lance Seidman. What would you say a good age was to stop monitoring a child's activity on the internet, says Teen Tunes UK. When you leave the house. Well, let me put it to you this way. That's going to be my rule. If you live in my house, I absolutely have the God-given right as a parent to protect you at all lengths. And the day that you are no longer monitored in one way or shape or form is the day you are no longer in the house. You are on your own. Until then, I still consider you a child. And so you can sit there and thank God that I'm not your parent if you think that's restrictive. But there will absolutely this is not fascism. It's called parenting. And if more parents took that approach, maybe there'd be far less child abuse in the world. Sorry, but turning a blind eye to this stuff is inexcusable. Inexcusable. You're an adult, act like one. You took on the responsibility for having a child, see it through. Sorry, guys. Kind of went off on a tear there. Best iPhone apps for students. Every year, Apple seems to sell billions of iPhones, and I know they're out there. I've done a handful of informal polls, including when I present in front of live audiences, real people, usually students. I ask how many iPhones in the audience, and a lot of hands go up, and I say how many Androids in the audience, and I honestly, I'll tell you, there's probably just as many Androids out there in, let's say, high school students or college students' hands than there were a year ago. Android is certainly growing in popularity. No surprise. You can get an Android device at your local hair salon. I'm not kidding either. You can do that. I think every place is giving away Android phones just for, in conjunction with a service contract. Although I don't know what kind of Android phone I'd want to get from a hair salon. I know it is possible. So today, we wanted to share with you some of our experiences with iPhone apps, the best iPhone apps for students. And what I think you'll like about this, even if you're not an iPhone user, you might want to read along as well. Check the link out in the description for this particular video, unless you're reading the article right now on lockergnome.com. Many of these apps are available for other smartphone devices, like the Android. One suggestion that we have for the best iPhone apps for students is Chegg. And I don't know if you've heard of that. Chegg's a service that allows users to rent textbooks for a quarter. And I tell you what, that was probably a bigger expense when I was in college. Textbooks, hundreds of dollars, just to me, thrown away. And you turn around and try to sell them back, and they take a book that you paid $50 for and give you $2 in return. It was horrible. So Chegg may be an option for you. Shakespeare Pro, another one, if you happen to be taking any kind of Shakespearean classes. In terms of references, reference materials, the new Oxford American Dictionary is an option. That's something that I actually have on my Kindle as well. I picked that one up for free, so you can access that from a variety of devices. But certainly having a dictionary in your smartphone is a good idea. It is, though, specifically available in this article, linked to the iPhone or the iTunes App Store. Easy Read Plus Plus, and this is kind of like a SparkNotes, if you've heard of that before. So basically, get a summary of something that you should have read the full text of. If you're really cramming, it's something to you might want to pay attention to. My Homework is another one that has been recommended to help you organize the things that you need to do with all your classes. I would have killed to have anything like this when I was a kid. You want to see what I had? Let me just show you. So you're sitting there and you're complaining about what you have today. Hang on, I'm just going to get up. I've done this twice now during the live broadcast, not during this particular video segment, but I'm walking over to my closet, which you can see in the annual home office tour, and I'm going to show you my really first PDA. In fact, I think I did a separate video about this a couple of years ago, if you want to see a full tour. This is Sharp's Wizard, and I did a separate video on this, so you feel free to look for Sharp Wizard Locker Gnome on YouTube, and it'll pull it up. This is what I had right here, and if I wanted to change the functions, I mean, I could calendar, schedule, telephone, memo. This wasn't a telephone. It just allowed me to store numbers. Memo, calculator. I had I think the world clock and a clock. It really wasn't much. But these little cartridges, see if I think I got to unlock it first. I would have to swap out these cartridges in order to change functionality. This was a thesaurus and a dictionary, so I could check spelling or catch the alternative to a word. Now, here's the question. Is the battery, is it on? Yeah, the battery's dead. Simple battery, really. But, you know, this was awesome. 64K here versus 64 gig. Yeah, so I'd be much happier with a smartphone these days and all the apps that you can use versus swapping out cartridges. You have no idea how lucky you are. Read the article. If we missed any of these great software experiences for students, please share your recommendations. If you are a student or if you know of students, would certainly be interested in hearing what you have to say. And as I said before, maybe not just be for iPhone users, but other smartphone users as well, because many of these apps are available cross-platform. How much did the PDA cost when you bought it? Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Hundreds, I'm sure. I think my dad had one too. If I pulled this out when he visits here, he'd say, "Oh my God, does it still work?" Maybe I'll have to swap out the battery again. Probably can't hold a charge. I used to play games on my calculator. Lol, used to use the Mirage OS emulator. I want to jailbreak my iPhone 4S. Go for it. How to give your home office a steampunk look. Hang on, wait. When I put together what you see behind me, it really wasn't with video in mind. I was just looking for some options. I bought this hutch, and if you want to know my whole desk setup, I think it's go.tagjag.com/desk. And I purchased one Tix clock, go.tagjag.com/TIX if you want your own Tix clock, and it fit perfectly in the cubbyhole. And then I got a couple of 30-inch monitors and started to change a few other things, added a few more lights, and pretty soon I had something that would seemingly work well in video. And this home office became a TV studio of sorts. Television stations love interviewing me because they don't have to change any of the lights. It looks good on camera. Sometimes I even turn on the screen so they can see the open source electric sheep screensaver behind me. It's really dynamic, looks geeky and cool, like I'm on the bridge of the Enterprise. You may have some different ideas for how to decorate your home office. And if you've never thought about giving your office a steampunk look, you may want to take a look at the latest article that we've crafted for you on lockergnome.com, aptly titled, How to Give Your Home Office a Steampunk Look. It's, you know, a very unique style of items. You could make your keyboard look steampunk. Your mouse, your screen, anything in your home office could be made to look like it was steampunk. And if you've never seen steampunk art before, you're really missing out. Take a look at the article. We've got, you know, a handful of links for you there so that you can see where you might be able to pick up some home office decorations. I'm going to give you my top tip, also listed in the article, just kind of whet your appetite. To me, Etsy. That's ETSY. I've sold things there before, my dots and lines drawings, although I haven't done that in a while. I don't think many people cared. But Etsy has a handful of amazing originally steampunk designed products. Like, it's amazing what you can find there. If you go to Etsy, search for steampunk, you will be blown away. You can give your office a classic, futury, very unique look like that. Give it a shot. It looks like Lance Seidman says, I have an attachment for my phone for audio to have a steampunk feel. It's very difficult to describe, kind of a futuristic, imagine if, and I think this is the best way to describe it, imagine if 100, 200 years ago, we had the same technologies. What would a keyboard look like in 1850? What would a camera look like in 1700? These new technologies can be made to look older than they actually are. And steampunk it's a fun thing to look at. It's very, very geeky. Teen Tunes UK says, liked the article. Thank you. We wrote it for a reason, to help you. I know at least 3 people who've made the same home office that I have, because they asked, Chris, how'd you put it together? Make your own. Steampunk it, man. Give it a shot. And we've given you some starting points if you've not even thought about making a home office, even if it's just a corner of your room. Make it yours. Make it geeky. Make it cool. And it doesn't have to be like mine. We've given you some options. Take a look at the article, and if you do like it, or share it, or whatever you got to do to let other people know that they have options as well. And I didn't realize as I was doing this that you could still see the PSP over here. I hope these games don't fall. I hope these games don't fall. I hope these games don't. Oh, they won't. Okay. Whew. If you hear this crashing sound, like in the middle of a video, I'm checking that. All right. I can't wait until I move out, says JKN Productions 1212. Trust me. You can wait. Oh my God, I searched 10,000 hours for that style. Thanks. Dude, you should have, someone just asked me if I missed call for help. You might want to let him know I already recorded a video about that the other week. So you already answered the question. Here we go. Why you still want a Blu-ray player? Wicket, this wasn't directed at you. No. HD, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Don't bark back at me, mister. Come here. Still can't let it go. HD DVD died well over a year ago. What's he supposed to do with those discs? I'm serious! Really opened the floodgates there. Are you done? I still have that zit up my nose. If you remember yesterday's TLDR, that made no sense. Here we go. I still buy discs, movies on discs, whether they're classic DVDs, old school, or now Blu-ray discs, although I haven't purchased too many Blu-ray movies. I'm inclined to buy the Blu-rays that come with a digital copy as well, so that I could use my iTunes account to watch the same movie that I might have in a physical capacity. And I think that there's an extreme value in that. And my greater question to you right now, not just while I'm streaming this live on YouTube, but even if you're watching this after it's live, do you guys buy Blu-ray discs? Do you have a Blu-ray player? If so, why? If not, why not? So we've written an article kind of outlining why you still do want a Blu-ray player. If you thought that you could get away with it, no, you still want one. You may not realize that you want one. Let me just give you a couple of my top reasons. Please read along with me on the article on lockergnome.com. Click it, like it, share it, whatever you got to do to let other people know we published it there. And feel free to like the video as well, the one that I'm talking about or doing right now. One big reason you'd want a Blu-ray player over saying, I can stream it online. What happens if your internet connection goes down? can't stream the movie. Let's say there's some lag. The movie's just going to stop midway through. Not to mention quality, not just video, but audio as well. They jam-pack as much as they possibly can into a Blu-ray disc. And not to mention behind-the-scenes stuff, deleted scenes, alternative takes, director's cuts. The list goes on and on for all those bonus features that really, today, you're only going to find in a Blu-ray player. You still want a Blu-ray player, even with my dad texting me right now. I don't know if my dad's watching the live video feed right now, but this is really freaking me out. I think my dad's not a very happy customer of one company or another. Maybe I'll have to call him and pull him into a live interview here to see what he's talking about, because he may be interested. But he's got a Blu-ray player, even my dad. I mean, if my dad has a Blu-ray player, what's your excuse? Yes, have Blu-ray player and buy Blu-ray DVDs. That's what Imbalanced by Design says. My husband has his game consoles that play Blu-ray, says Chameleon Roses. Very happy, by the way, to see female geeks in here tuning in. My primary Blu-ray player is a PS3. That's what I use to play Blu-rays. I don't have any other Blu-ray player, although we found a couple of discounts that we, I believe, talked about in this article on LockerGnome.com. Why you still want a Blu-ray player. A lot of quality out there, and I think that's really the bottom line. 3D Blu-ray, have like 30 Blu-ray 3D movies. Just love it, says Yivar Music. I like watching the bonus features. Someone else notes, seriously, there's no value in dedicating space on my bedroom to keep useless DVDs once I already pay for broadband. Want a top quality? Go to the movies, says Lwiktu. Well, you remember the movie ticket giveaway I talked about in the early live TLDR episode today. Hopefully you caught that. Movies can be expensive. And it's just like I mentioned, I think it was yesterday or the day before, going to rent a movie online, it was only $1 more to buy the DVD, so we just bought the DVD. Might as well have the disc. It doesn't make sense to just rent something temporarily for the same cost as you could have something physically and watching anytime. I'll wait. Right now, the value is not that extreme, and Blu-ray movies really aren't that expensive. I mean, every year they go down in price. Unfortunately, they also drop in value, but that's not the point. You can rent Blu-ray movies if you want to. We do that as well. The normal DVDs are high quality anyway. That is true. I have Blu-ray so cheap now, $89. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have super high quality. $89, that's exactly how much it would cost you to go out to the movies today. And if you think I'm kidding, try going out on a date. And try telling that date, you can't have any popcorn. You can't have the bladder buster of whatever soda you wanted. Try to tell your date that. See if you get a second date. Because you won't. It's expensive. Yeah, just get the Blu-ray. Watch it at home. What's the point of going out anymore? Become a hermit, like us. HD DVD is going to be reborn in the Xbox 720. I doubt that, Daniel W.E. Jones. I doubt it. It might, but I doubt it. I'd be surprised, though, if Microsoft did not embrace Blu-ray. I'd be shocked, honestly. They should. HD DVD died. It's dead. I had an HD DVD player, too. I bought one. Because I have Xboxes. And I love the Xbox. And Daniel there, the guy I mentioned, Daniel W.E. Jones, is, I would say, this month's, if I have a favorite Nomi, it's him. He got me the white Boba Fett Lego minifig that caused many of you to lose your sense of hearing when I screamed into the microphone. 195 likes on the live video. If you're watching this, after it's gone live, I hope you like not just this video, but every segment that we did today. Please go back and like each one of them. Please, I appreciate it. You have no idea. And I have to say this every day. I have to, because I want to thank you. When you like a video, when you share that video, when you embed that video, it's awesome. Whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, your blog, Google+, when you +1 things, thank you. And the same goes for every one of the articles on LockerGnome.com. Let me just go ahead and click on one of these article links to see if you guys were +1ing and sharing it. Yeah, see? This is what's disappointing, is I look at that why you still want a Blu-ray player article and like 2 +1s, no tweets and only 2 likes. Should we even be doing these things anymore? I mean, if you like the videos we do, we also need you. We need you to like and share those articles as well. It's not just the video stuff. Because I will tell you, if we do not get the traffic to Locker Gnome, and we don't get those Locker Gnome articles from point A to point B, if people aren't reading them, we're just going to close up shop. Because what's the point of doing all this? I'll stop doing the live video feed if we can't get more attention to Locker Gnome. And that's not just a threat. I mean, that's just a reality. We've got a business. And part of the business is getting our content out there. You have no idea what it means when you share, not just the videos, but the links themselves. So please click, read if you can, and share. Share those links. Facebook, Twitter, your blog, Google+, and beyond. I am noticing. I am watching. I am paying attention. As a matter of fact, our backlink of the day is thegeekpanel.com. He linked back to one of our articles on why the iPad is not always awesome. Remember the video I did on that? There's always a corresponding article to the video. So you can take a look at both. It's not just one thing. It's both. Please, look. I'm not just doing this for my health. Really, I'm not. Okay, Harris K95 says, reading is boring. That may be true. But if you don't read or if you don't share those articles, I'm going to stop doing the videos. So if you enjoy the videos, I'm telling you, start sharing the articles. Videos, articles. Together, we're good. So thanks again for all of your support. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We have about, I think we did about 10 videos. I answered a couple questions. And Mr. Skinny Bill asked this question. I don't know. Let me think about doing this as a separate video here. Do you think Apple is actually phasing out optical discs altogether, or eventually we'll get a Blu-ray drive? No, Apple's done with discs. Come on, think about it. They're done. They are done. You can get a Blu-ray drive for a Mac. It's just not going to play movies. Because I have one. That's a Blu-ray drive back there. And I did a video on it a long time ago. Oh, the link should be in their Magic Tracks pod, or just go to lockergnome.com. It's on lockergnome.com. Take a look. See? You don't have to look very hard or very far, really. Do you think... Have I talked about that, guys? Let me look. Here, this is how I look. Let's see here. Blu-ray Mac Locker Gnome. I'm looking on YouTube right now. And let's see if I've answered the question. What's the best Blu-ray DVD player and burner to buy? I guess that would have been Blu-ray drive. No, that wasn't by me. And maybe I should answer this question in a separate video. All right, this will be probably the last one to go. Is this right? Yeah, there we go. 220 likes. Wow. It's kind of pointless to read and watch the video. It is, unless you think about this. The people who are following you may not have seen either. It's not just about you. It's about if you like it, you need to share it. Because it's not just about you. It's about everybody who follows you and might also be interested. Bring it together. It's not just about you. It's not just about me. As I was encouraging people who are watching the live video feed here on YouTube, TLDR, the Locker Gnome Daily Report, broadcast live every day at 3 p.m. Pacific. That's in the Seattle area. Someone had mentioned, as I was encouraging them to like and +1 and share our lockergnome.com articles, they suggested that you don't even have to read the articles. You can use the Opera web browser and use the speak button, and it will read the article to you. There's likely a Google Chrome extension that will do the same thing. And potentially even the option within Windows outright. You can not read the articles, with your own eyes. You can just let the computer read it for you. And it's just as fun and easy and convenient. And sharing isn't necessarily just for you. If you're watching the video for one particular segment or another, or I guess article, the content that you would be sharing would be for someone who didn't see the video or didn't see the article. You'd want to let them know, right? If you like the content, don't just sit there and passively watch it. Share it. It's really not too much of a challenge that I know of. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's difficult. How do I click? Where is it? Look in the sidebar. Look in the sidebar. It's right there. Your articles are just as good as your videos. Thank you, because they're made to complement each other. As we were winding down the live broadcast today, sorry if you missed it, I had a question pop in right before I was about to close her down. Mr. Skinny Bill asked, do you think Apple is actually phasing out optical discs altogether or eventually will get a Blu-ray drive? Yeah, what they did with macOS 10 Lion is eliminated physical distribution pretty much wholesale. You get it through the App Store. You download it. I mean, yes, it is also available potentially on a USB stick, but by and large, you download it. Apple, much like they did with the floppy disk, is pretty much killing off their, I guess, hardware support for the disc, the CD, the DVD. I don't think we're going to see Blu-ray functionality on macOS 10. Probably not going to happen. Why would Apple do that? You can get quality movies and content through iTunes. Broadband is, proliferating homes across the country, at least. It may be different in other countries, but I don't think Apple's going to support Blu-ray movies anytime soon. Does it support Blu-ray discs? Yes, it does. I have a FireWire 800 drive. Haven't talked about it in a while, but this drive here, this external drive, plays Blu-ray discs, at least data, reads and writes. It just won't play movies at all. So if you want Blu-ray on your PC, your computer, a Mac is probably not going to be for you. I'd go as far as to say more of Apple's computers are going to start looking like the MacBook Air, that is without any kind of optical drive built in, than what they look like today. Really, if you think about it, there's not too many reasons you would need to have an optical drive anymore. You can get far much more data on, say, a flash drive, a USB stick, or whatever, than you could on a physical disk. And read-write speeds would be fantastically faster. So, I don't think, and this is my opinion, Apple's going to support Blu-ray anytime soon. Is that good or bad? That's for you to decide. I don't care what you want or what you need is completely different than what the rest of the world may want or need. Blu-ray players are not going to die anytime soon. But on Macs, I don't see them. I don't see them coming. Next step, Stingray. All right, folks. I think we've had enough for today, or certainly I have. Hope everybody's participating in the Twitter contests, or I guess giveaways that we're doing. The free movie tickets for one of you, as well as the MacBook Air giveaway. We've already narrowed down the field of choices for the Acer PC giveaway. Already gave away a Sony notebook computer as well as a digital camera. We're giving away a lot of stuff. Boy, we're constantly doing things here, aren't we? It's kind of fun, too. Thank you for joining me today and commenting and sharing. What time will Subservient Chris be tomorrow? Well, it won't be tomorrow. It's this weekend, and it's already scheduled. If you look at the YouTube live schedule on our YouTube page, you'll see. Can you show your Lego room, your Lego setup? It's not really a Lego room per se. It's just Lego. I just primarily set up the minifigs. I've got a bit other Lego that I definitely have to put away. Ow. When I grew up, my kids would ask what discs were. Pretty much. Blue Geek 42 says, look forward to tomorrow. I do as well. Where did you get the coffee mug? Says 4613997. Is that a phone number? Diana got it for me. Remember, it was a part of my Christmas haul. Don't you remember that? It was like $1. It's awesome. And this side has a 3D nose. Look at that nose. It pops out. Look at that. It's like he's nipping out. Today's word of the day is snowman. Snowman. If you watched this far, thank you. Now, go back and watch every one of the other episodes and like the videos. I appreciate it if you did. If you do like them. And look at the Locker Gnome articles. When you're looking at I'm going to train you, okay? When you're watching the video, open up that link in the background. Video. Oh, Chris, that's pretty interesting, Chris. Okay, I like that. Click. Thank you, okay. Maybe it's like, I'm reading it. Yeah, I don't like it. Dislike. Oh, but still, I want you to click that link, open it up in the background. And then when you close that tab, oh, there's the Locker Gnome article. Oh, cool. Well, I guess they do have some interesting information. Let me go ahead and tweet it out, share it, +1 it. That's all you got to do. I keep repeating it, and I know I've got to just drill it into your skull because I need to breed that repetition. It's important to talk about. It's important to share. And so thank you for sharing this experience with me. LockerGnome.com is where you want to go. You can subscribe to the email newsletter, which you should have done already. You've got the keyword of the day. And you've got plenty of videos to watch at some point when they are finally uploaded by us. Follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Chris Pirillo, posting all sorts of stuff there, not just the videos that we do or the articles that we share. Also, Google+, Twitter, and my blog, chris.pirillo.com. I also have my live video feed going out over the web. It's got the chat room. You're free to drop in. Sometimes I'm watching, sometimes I'm not. But they are certainly geeking out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.